Couple of videos we have been talking about the default route and introduction to the routing. Now we need to really see how this routing works. You have to make your hand dirty by trying it out. And one of the free tool that Cisco provides you to try out all these things is called PacketTracer. So here in this video, we are going to learn about how to do with PacketTracer, how to build a topology, a simple topology with a PC and two routers and another PC connecting to the last router. How do you build the topology? And once you build the topology, in the subsequent video, we are going to show you how to create or how to configure your PCs to have IP addresses and how to configure your PCs to have a default gateway. Once we have that, we will also see how the routers will be configured to have the IP addresses and then how you configure the routing in the routers. To get the packet tracers, you can actually go here in this particular link. I will put this link in the YouTube description as well. And actually, Cisco provides a very good method of how you can actually download this packet tracer. Now, once you have your packet tracer installed, irrespective of whether it is a Mac, Windows, or a Linux, you will be able to see a screen like this. And it has a bunch of menu. We are not going to go all over the menu, every item as such, but we will definitely cover the most important item that you need to build a topology. So remember, this is Cisco Packet Tracer. That means you will be able to use and emulate only Cisco devices. There is another tool called EVE-NG. That's where you will be able to emulate a lot of other multi-vendor devices like Juniper, Checkpoint, Palo Alto, etc. But here, since this is basic networking, Cisco Packet Tracer is good enough for you to get an understanding of how to build a topology and then work with a set of protocols. So here down the line here, you'll be able to see a set of devices in the packet tracers. Once you hover over one of the devices, which is actually network devices, which includes the router, the switches, and all other stuff. We are going to deal only with the routers. And the next menu, or the main menu here, you can see there is something called the PC, which is the end devices. The end devices consist of the PCs, laptops, servers, and stuff like that, which is basically the end device that user kind of interacts, not the core infrastructure devices, not the devices that connect and make the routing possible. That is the routing devices. So this is the routing devices, and this is the end devices. Technically, these are the two things that we need. And now for the connectivity, this particular icon, which is shown is in the reddish orange color, that talks about how you want the connect. So these are different types of cable. This is a console cable. This is a straight through cable. This is a crossover cable, and there are some other cables like fiber and coaxial cables, etc. But let's make this pretty simple. I mean, this course is not intended to teach you how to use a packet tracer. There are enough of videos by YouTubers in the YouTube which you can actually refer to. But here very quickly we are going to show you how to build this connectivity, right? So you just drag in once you click on the specific menu, which is here in this case network devices. You get the devices listed here. So you just drag and drop those devices, and then you can build the topology. So I have two routers here, and now I'm going to have a PC at the end of each of those devices. So just drag these PCs here. Remember, this is not yet in the topology. We have just told these are the devices that we want, and once you have these devices laid out here, you specify how the connectivity would be. So the connectivity for the connections, you click on these connections, and then you say I want maybe the fast Ethernet. So the moment you click on the type of cable that you want, and you come back on the device and then click here on the device, it actually lists down the interfaces available. You click on that interface, and then you click on the routers now, and routers shows which all are the available interfaces here. And the crossover, since this is a straight through cable, it actually works only with the gigabit Ethernet. So that connectivity is done. Now if you want to continue on the connectivity, click on this again, and then select the one available interface on router, which is G001, and then connect to that to G000 of the router 2. Now the last connectivity that you want is from here, which is G001 to G000 First is the network. Now, if you want all the interfaces name to be listed out here, you can actually come to Cisco Packet Tracer, and there is something called preference here. When you click on preferences, you have some option here called always show the port and labels here. So look like here, we didn't connect to the right interface. So if you want to remove a connection, and that's where you will be using this particular icon, which is a delete icon. Click on delete and then say where you want to delete. So I want to delete this connectivity. Click on delete, and then you can create the connectivity again. So click on the connections, click on the router, set the interface that you want, click on the next router, and then say which interface you want it to connect to. So this is the complete connectivity now. And if you want to delete not only the interfaces but also the devices, you can again use the same delete icon. Click on delete, click on router. It will ask you whether you want to delete it. Click yes, and you can actually delete the entire topology as well. So in this fashion, you build a topology, which we were actually referring to in our previous video, and then we will see in the next video how to configure the IP addresses on the PCs and how to configure the IP addresses on the router, and then we will start with the default gateway and then how the entire routing works. That's all for this video. Thank you.